Oh, hi. Welcome to this edition of At the Mic. I'm your host, Keith Malinak. Just going through my post-it notes. Alex Cuesta and I were just discussing how this is how you stay organized. In fact, I've told you all this before. Like, all the next shows are right here. And then that's one show, the Thursday, and then we get the Friday, or maybe it's vice versa. Anyway, yesterday on the Thursday live stream, the deep dive that we do, it was part 2 of how to steal an election with Jovan Pulitzer. And boy, that was another fascinating, depressing conversation. There are some glimmers of hope. You just have to listen to find out. He and I had a discussion back on July 4th, along with his head researcher. Eve joins us as well. And so a 2-hour conversation became 3.5 hours. Yesterday, it was a 3-hour conversation in addition to that 3.5. And we decided, you know what, we're going to have to do another one. So be looking for part 3 in the near future. If you've missed any of the deep dive episodes, please go to youtube.com/@themic. Look for the playlist of deep dives, and you'll find that down there. On Fridays, which today is, thank you, we just kind of hang out and watch animal videos together, and get to know my guests. And today, it's guest singular. We've had some last minute issue for Steve Baker. He's going to try to join us if possible, but and I put another feeler out there. We'll see. We may have somebody just randomly pop in, but I am happy to have the guest that we do have. And there he is, Alex Cuesta, ladies and gentlemen, of the Alex Cuesta Show. Buddy, thanks for making time. I appreciate it.
I'm pumped. And, like you said, making time, because this is all my fault that I haven't been on here sooner, because you were on my show many moons ago with my brother David, who also has jumped on here before. And for the longest time, you're like, hey, whenever you can make time. And I did.
Brother's been on.
Yeah, David's been on. And I promise I talk more than David, because David was kind of, you had Tim and everything, and we know Tim can go. So it was like, but yeah, no, I have a partial bone to pick with Steve, and Steve's not here for me to pick it, because back when the Biden administration was coming after him for accurately reporting about J6, right? Mm-hmm. I tried to strike while the iron was hot and invite him on the show. And he communicated back, and we kind of started chit-chatting. And then he got busy, obviously. He was doing a ton of media rounds, like important media, right? Like doing Glenn's show and things like that, doing Pat and all this stuff. And I think I got shuffled to the back burner. So, yeah.
Oh, no. So you're
that's
hurt.
Okay.
You're
That's okay.
Wounded.
I understand.
I'll put in a good word for you. And maybe, who knows, maybe he'll show up today and you can put him on the spot. I will say that... I think about that show that I did with you guys, the Alex Cuesta Show, which, by the way, people really need to check out. You are such a good interviewer, man.
Thank you.
And I really hope that people will check out your stuff. But I think back, this is my brain. It's so pathetic. I think back to that interview, and I think, I cannot believe that I screwed up the simplest Atlanta Falcons fact.
I wasn't going to mention it. I was not going to hold that over.
Deion Sanders, absolutely. The first Atlanta Falcon to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I was like, no, I don't think he ever played in the red jersey. I'm such a dumbass. I have the card of him in the red jersey on the shelf over here.
It might have been Jeff George. I think it was a Jeff George debate.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Well, then, you know what? Then I'm going
to I still want to do it. I'm going to at one point. Like, I was trying to figure out the least creepy way to ask you your address, and I just never built up the courage, because I wanted to send you the Jeff George card in Christmas and just send it to
So it was Jeff George? Oh, okay. I was thinking, so my memory is tainted, because I was thinking, how did you screw up a Deion
I'm going to go back.
Guy?
I'll go back and listen to that, and we'll see.
We try to put Jeff George memories out of mind here. In fact, here's one last little fun fact. In 1995, the Atlanta Falcons had to win on the last week of the season in order to make the playoffs. And then that also screwed up a draft pick. If they make the playoffs, it becomes like a third round instead of a first or something. It was the Jeff George trade, actually, with the Colts. And Jeff George got us to the playoffs. If memory serves, then in the first round, I believe it was Jeff George. Anyway, Brett Favre. Ironically enough, it was his first ever playoff game, and it was in Lambeau. and the Packers embarrassed the Falcons. Surprise! And I'm pretty sure that was Jeff George against Brett Favre. But anyway, whatever. We're getting off into Falcon talk here. And I want to let everybody in on what you and I were doing behind the scenes before we got started.
Oh boy.
We were just talking about this. Well, let me back up. My day job, Pack Ray Unleashed. We have an awesome viewer to that show. His handle, you should follow him, is Furian Energy, Furyan Energy, and he makes these AI songs for Jeffy, and because Jeff does a segment chewing the fat every Wednesday morning, and so he uses this AI thing, and Pat reached out to him yesterday morning, and he's like, "Hey, what do you use for that?" And so now we've all been downloading this app. Because you brought it up in conversation. I was like, I just thought about this thing yesterday, and I'm always the last person to know. And what was it called? Suno?
Suno.com.
Okay, so SUNO. And so while Alex and I were talking before I went on the air here, I was just, I was halfway listening to whatever he was saying, but I was coming up with lyrics for something along the lines of Fury and Energy would make for Jeffy. And I made it for you because I want people to remember the Alex Cuesta show that comes on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, it does.
And I typed in some pretty lame lyrics, style of music, country, song title, Alex is Cool.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so let's see what happens here. We have not listened to this. I haven't hit the create button yet. This is yeah, you should be scared. This could go off the rails if it hasn't already. Could take up to 2 minutes. Hold tight. We're creating your song.
So one thing I want to say is I actually still appreciate the fact that you came on because, you talked about how early you have to go in to go do Pack, right? Because you guys are on in the morning before Glenn and everything.
I stayed up late that night.
But there's also the difference that you're in Tejas and I'm in New York and, David's in West Virginia and things like that. So we're on the East Coast. So you stayed up and you were, gracious enough to give us the time that you gave us. So we still always appreciate that. And I have to say we're a small show, and at that time we weren't streaming. We were recording and putting it on. So I'm going to make you red eye again one more time at least.
Oh, yeah, because it was audio only.
Yeah, you're going to come on and do the stream at that point.
I don't treat my viewers with as much respect as you treat yours. I actually show them my face.
Oh, now we're live. Now we are live. Now we stream every
Wednesday I know. That's awesome. I was probably drinking, and so therefore I was able to stay up later that way.
That's always good.
If memory serves. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, anyway, it's still telling me to hold tight, and that's what we're doing. We're holding tight as we're creating your song. So it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's youtube.com/Alex Cuesta Show. Is that right?
I believe so. Let me go check.
Oh, no.
It should be. Here's the thing. YouTube gives you like some stupid handles at times.
Yeah, I know. I know. For the longest time, it was at the mic with Keith, and it was just, and finally it said, you can come up with your own now.
Sometimes, so I gotta see.
Well, you could just go to Twitter and go to Alex Cuesta Show, and I know the link is up there in the old banner.
Yes, we're up there, so you can.
Hey, the song's been created.
Yeah, it's /the Alex Cuesta Show. Yes, that'll bring me that.
The Alex Cuesta Show. Okay, so the Alex Cuesta Show, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m., youtube.com. And here is the Alex is Cool. This is your new theme song, whether you like it or not. First time we're all hearing this together. It could really suck.
I'm excited.
Y'all gotta check this out.
Oh, then the stupid ad comes up.
This is like trying to listen to like Rogan on Spotify. Like you have to like go through all those ads because he starts to show up with like 6 minutes of ads and makes you not want to listen to it anymore.
Like, I was thinking, how much do people pay for those ads that I just go?
Yeah, you do 15-second skip and it goes and
okay, here we go. All right, I should have just held it away. Sorry. I don't know. First day. It's my first.
Here is Alex Cuesta. He has a great show. He is someone you should know. And if you don't watch him, shame on you.
Little Kenny Chesney here.
Wednesday 9 p.m. Eastern, that's what you do.
I like it. I like it.
I do like it. This is like.
He has a great show.
Oh, it just repeats, huh?
He is someone you should know.
Yeah, he is.
And if you don't watch him, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Wednesday 9 p.m. Eastern, that's what you do.
That's what you do. All right, there you go. So,
I feel like if I want, like, because I do an intro video with our show, I
yeah,
would have to redo it, and it would have to be like an old Chevy with like the wood grain, like the wood like on top for the hay, and it would be like a field of hay behind it as that song's playing with like our logo like floating. It's ridiculous.
that
Well,
okay.
David
Well,
just said it's much better than I thought it would be. To be honest, thanks,
thank
Dave.
you. Oh, that's your brother. What's up,
Yeah, it's
Dave?
David
Yeah.
down there.
So
AOL
let
Dave.
me just check here. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I was on the wrong screen, so I'm just now getting to see these comments.
Need this
So
tambourine.
everybody's gonna have to wait for me to scroll around. Hey, welcome, None here, first time viewer. Appreciate that. Yeah, I need my tambourine. My tambourine's at work. And in fact, it's funny Sue said that because when this thing was starting to play, my instinct was to reach down to the left. Oh, boo! It's at work where I
But what we're
barely
saying
use
is,
it anymore.
chat, if anyone wants to, they should send another tambourine to Kate so he can bring home. So he has an at home and an in studio tambourine.
Oh, Tanner would love that. Am I right? Okay.
Hmm.
Let's see here. I'm just making sure. Next week, by the way, the guy who heads up Glenn Beck's charity, a coworker who I love, JP will be here, or JP Decker, and I said here. Be here. Yeah, he'll be here.
Virtually.
Anyway, yeah. And then that's how this works, Keith. Boy, I sound like a boomer every day that advances. And then also Chef Andrew Gruel will join us. So that'll be next week's Friday live stream. All right. So here's some not so rapid fire questions for you, Alex, as we get to know you.
Yes.
Let's see here. On the scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
So this answer comes loaded because I am a driving instructor by trade on my day job. So my ass better actually be pretty good at driving. I'd say I'm an 8 because I'm not a NASCAR driver. I'm not like a big time, like, racer. So I'm not going to go 10. I can't get away from like a chase scene. So I'm not a 9, but I'd say a solid 8. And also I'm going to say something controversial here. Being from Jersey makes me a really good driver at driving fast because that's all we do there. So I'm giving myself an 8.
As someone who's lived in New Jersey, as someone who has gotten 2 tickets in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, within an hour of each other from a traffic camera, because I didn't stop for 3 full seconds before I turned right. Get out of my freaking
I
face.
teach kids to do that every day.
Yeah, I'm going to give myself a 4 because I'm honest. I suck. I am easily the worst driver in my family. Of the 5 of us, there's no argument. And that includes my son, who got in a wreck within a week of getting his driver's license.
So when you and son go on your road trips, who drives? Because you guys have done, you've done like your
We
road
switch
trips.
them. We switch them. Yeah. Now, when we were in the mountains of Colorado, see, I've been in the mountains where I was alone and I had to drive, and I hated it. And I thought, you know what? I got Ezra. You drive. I can do it. It's fine, but I just would prefer not. And
see, I thoroughly enjoy driving. I've driven to Florida twice from Jersey. So it's like, I like driving. Driving is something I enjoy doing. So for me, it's not a task.
I'm sorry. All right. Why don't I have 2 tambourines? That's honestly the greatest question that anyone.
Yes.
Why don't I?
Yes.
Let's see.
You need to order another one.
Oh my gosh, I've actually tweeted out proof of this next one. I barely even looked at these, Alex. Shame on me. Do you ever wear socks with sandals? Yes, I have many times. And,
only time I've done it is if I'm walking my dog real quick. Outside of that, I grew up on the Jersey Shore. I take the sandals off when I walk onto the beach. I don't even walk on the beach with sandals. I pop them off and go with my feet.
So. You go barefoot on a New Jersey beach? That's risky.
Yeah, well, I don't go to like seaside I go to like the towny areas. It's much different. It's very nice, Keith. I'll take you one day. I'll serenade you on the beach one day.
Oh, please no. But hold on a second. You say sometimes you take the dog out for a quick walk.
Yeah.
Are you going down the street while you're wearing socks? And
No. It's just kind of like the not normal walk around the block, but just dog has to pee. I don't have any fencing or anything like that. So
are you leaving your property? I guess.
No, staying on the property.
So that doesn't count as a walk. You're staying on your property, and that's kind of where my brain is too on this. Like I'll be out in the yard or go to the mailbox or something like that, and I don't care. But I would not go around the block. I'm trying to think.
We called people that wore socks with sandals shoebies. That was our thing. If we saw that on the beach, they were shoebies. And we also knew they weren't from the Jersey Shore. They were tourists. They were bennies. We
See,
called them bennies.
I just call them old, which would be accurate with me. Okay, let's see here. Big dogs or small dogs, if you had to choose there. What kind of dog do you have?
Big dogs, and I have a dog named Oreo. He's about 9 months old now. We just got him on the New Year, right before New Year's Eve, so December 31st. Before that, we had 2 other dogs that like passed away previously in 2 successive years in December, so it was kind of sad, and we had no plans on getting him. But the kids were just like, we want a dog, and went from looking at them on the internet to, yeah, maybe we'll go take a visit. And then he hugged my wife, and she was like, yep, we're taking this dog home.
I swear, these dogs have to know, like, it's time to put on a show.
Yeah,
like these people are coming in here. Let's make sure. Like, for example, let me explain real quick, and I want to hear your story.
Yeah.
Tanner, we bought on a whim, and he's the smartest animal that I've ever owned by far. It's creepy smart, and I don't document properly on Twitter. In other words, for every, oh, look, Matilda's so cute and cuddly. Yeah, Tanner just solved, some equation on a chalkboard that I didn't capture on video for y'all. I'm sorry. But he is so smart. And when we went into PetSmart, just this one night, it was just a random deal. And because we had been talking about maybe getting a dog, maybe whatever. And we went in the back there, and it's just like there's 30 dogs, and 29 of them are just like, row, 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 row. And you're like, oh, God. And there's one dog, Tanner, just sitting there like, these guys suck, am I right? And of course we get him out and all this stuff, and we love him. And then we bring the kids up there the next day, and he's playing with the kids in a little area, and somebody kind of walks by and starts talking about, oh, what a cute dog. And he sits, I mean, I swear, he sits between that person and the kids, like within 2 minutes of knowing them, and just starts growling at this stranger like, they're mine, I'm going home with them. But anyway, so my point was, he puts on his silent show for us, and now he barks at oh my gosh, I sense a threat 4 miles away. It's not to the point of aggravating, but it's yeah, it is. Anyway, so just complete different, than that one night when we thought maybe he doesn't bark at all. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's always the biggest misnomer. Dogs don't bark. The only dogs that don't bark are huskies, but they sing. So huskies don't necessarily bark, but they will just, anyone that's ever owned a husky knows exactly what they sound like. They're just
yes, they talk.
They sound like Chewbacca without the
yeah.
I do a good job.
I've seen videos of that kind of stuff. So you say he hugged your wife when y'all went and were looking. I mean, did she think he was going to attack him or
no, he was like being real friendly. Like he was
cool,
super happy. And she like got down to go and like, pet him. And then he just like put his head on my wife's shoulder and just kind of nuzzled in. And she just gave me the puppy dog eyes. And I'm like, guess we're taking the dog home.
I guess we're taking this one.
Yeah, it was. So we have no idea basically what he is. He's kind of a mid-sized dog. He's only like 45 pounds. He's not massive. We thought he was going to be bigger, but the only thing they told us is the mother was part pit bull. Everything else we have no idea. And the mother was a mix there. They think the dad was a full mix. So it's like no clue what he is. And he's a good dog. We did some training with him. He listens.
Yeah.
Every time he's quote unquote run away, he's ran out one door and then just sat at the other on the other side of the house. So he doesn't want to leave already. So we're really happy. He's great with the kids. So dogs are the best. So
I love it. Yeah, I agree. I didn't grow up with dogs. I only got them later in life. But there's Tanner and Matilda for anyone who isn't familiar there. Okay, so next question is, how many cups of coffee do you have a day, Alex?
Try to keep it to 1. My goal is 1 in the morning, and sometimes I'll be weak and I'll stop and get a second one. But 2 is usually my max because I'm already hyper. And if I do more than that, I just absolutely bounce off the walls, and it's not safe.
I understand. I do the same with the 1, except for weekends. It could get out of hand. Cream and sugar, or
light and sweet. I go light and sweeted with it all. I have more. I'm the type that has sugar. Coffee with my sugar.
Yeah, that's how I used to be. Now it's just it's black. I don't
do
any
become
sugar.
A serial killer.
I'm. Wait a minute. Do you know? Oh crap! Who you been talking to? Anyway,
Listen, don't get mad at Chris. We've just, we've been having
yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. Let's see: dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
See,
Milk
I feel
chocolate.
like-
I grew up just eating a ton of Hershey's and Hershey's Kisses, like, just regular like chocolate bars. And I've always been kind of particular. I don't like dark chocolate. I know it's healthy for you, but I tend to like not like things when they're told that they're healthy. And white chocolate, it's something that throws me off. Chocolate should be at minimum brown. So I think it's just a mental thing.
Okay. All right. I will say that I would go milk chocolate just because white chocolate almost has this fake chemical taste to it.
Yeah.
Except for every now and then it hits a home run with me, and then all of a sudden I get in this mental rut where I think white chocolate is my favorite, and then I can never replicate it. And it about maybe 3 months will go by and be like, no, back to milk chocolate, dummy. All right, toilet paper from the top or from underneath.
See, I saw this one. There's only one answer.
There is only one answer, and if anybody, the serial killer is who. Yep. The serial killer is whoever says underneath.
And here's the reason why I found out, because apparently there's always like these cute little designs they use for you to wipe your ass, right? It's weird that they have designs on toilet paper, but the purpose is so that when you're wiping, the design comes towards you and you can see it. That's kind of why they establish it. I think like I read something where it was like there is no actual right answer, which is wrong. But the reason why they started to like promote over the top is so that the little artwork that they do can be shown better. Yeah, apparently.
No, it's all about torque, man. It's got to come from the top.
See,
if it's underneath, it's like,
what type of toilet paper are you pulling that you need torque?
Because
what is it made out of?
Because from underneath, it's tearing. If it's from the top, then you can use it as a. Don't make me explain this.
Hold on, Julie Forever Tea. Ooh,
what happened?
She says underneath.
Yeah,
underneath
I see
you
that.
can get a good grip and rip it, but it's like what? Hold on, but what do you need? Toilet paper is not that tough. Like there's only like some of the like the super cheap stuff that doesn't have any serrates at like a random rest stop. Okay, those are you got to be a little rough on. But then they're tough only for like 5 seconds and then they fall apart right when you want to use them. But regular toilet paper, regular 2-ply toilet paper, there's no need to get a grip and rip. The hell are you doing? I'm actually
welcome
concerned.
Those of you who have never joined us here on the Friday live stream, I want you to know that there's not another show out there that's going to give you this kind of analysis today on toilet paper talk. So you're welcome. All right, bonus question. I didn't put this on there.
Oh boy.
In fact, this is good. This is good. I didn't look this up either. I promise. So here's the bonus question I was going to hit you out of left field with. And y'all can play along there at home, obviously. How many of the 7 dwarves can you name?
Bashful, Sleepy, Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Doc, and Bashful, Sleepy. I have 2 kids, so I should know this.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Are we talking about the new dwarves that are just,
I don't even know what the hell. Don't even worry about
people, and they're just the diverse dwarves?
The diverse dwarves.
In the new Snow White, or are we talking about like the
No, I haven't watched it. I don't plan to watch it. So hold on, I'm with you. Because I was doing these: Dopey, Doc,
Bashful,
Sneezy, Bashful, Happy.
Sleepy. Happy. That's the 7th one. So yeah, we got
Grumpy.
together.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at us.
We did it.
Yay!
Look,
everybody beat us to it. Sorry, y'all.
No, I'm sorry. Listen, I got 6 out of the 7. Okay, I was pretty. I rapid fired 6 out of the 7, so that's why chat exists.
Yes. Oh, you know what? I should have done the Snow White one earlier. See, this is what they call a segue when you're a professional, and clearly I'm not, because I meant to go from the toilet paper conversation to this video.
And it's real good that you produce a major show on one of the major conservative networks.
Isn't that something? Look at this. Look at this trail of toilet paper. I mean, this thing goes forever. Where are we going? Oh my word!
It better lead to a dog. There it is.
You know, dogs that don't know they're dumb kind of piss me off. You know what I'm saying? like that dog doesn't realize he did something stupid. He has no idea. So you can't shame him. It's not like if Tanner did that, I would go up there and he'd be like, "Yeah, that was dumb. My bad." This dog's just like, "So what? Do I get a treat? because you're there and I'm here. And so what do
So
you
I
think?
give this toilet paper credit. They had to have like one of those like extra thick ones because dog saliva is very liquid, right? It should rip off. That is some very like durable toilet paper.
That was
That's
a
the type that you might
dog.
need to grip and rip. Julie might have a point there. You might need to grip and rip that type.
Continuing our dog theme, you're right. I mean, dogs are the greatest. However,
Yes.
this dog, and I just want to give, I mean, this is going to be the Tanner show. One thing I appreciate about Tanner is that he will sit there, quietly wait for me, unless he's got, impending diarrhea. He will be cool and just hang out right there.
Mhm.
And then when I wake up, if I don't get out of bed, which I usually just get out of bed,
Yeah.
but if I grab the phone and go through that first, then he starts whining like, bro, I know you're awake, get off the phone, I gotta go drop a deuce. So anyway, but normally he sits there and he waits for me quietly. But this dog, not quite as patient as my dog. And watch this. This is actually, by the way, when you're watching
Are they in
this,
a hospital bed?
this is how I don't know where we're at. Yeah, I think we're just in a relatively unfurnished bedroom.
Yeah.
But this is how my dad used to wake me up, and he didn't have to because I was such a light sleeper. If he literally opened the door and said, "Keith, we got to go," he didn't want to. He wanted to torture me, and so this is exactly the way my dad would wake me up. Look at this thing. What the hell?
The eyes are what get me.
Right? He's like, "Are you up yet?"
Now those are like
Huh?
weird because like I always find it weird when dogs make the things where they have like human eyes. Like that was like human eyes the way he was doing it, like the way humans would like bug out eyes.
Yeah.
Like when
Look
dogs
at
have
that.
human eyes, it's like that is like human eyes time, and it's kind of
Yep. He's looking like,
it almost looks fake.
get up, get up. And that's not accurate. See, my dad would actually, he would actually push down on the mattress corner. It was so unnecessary. Ugh.
My
Let's
mom,
see.
so I wasn't a light sleeper. I slept like a log, and my mom every morning this was clockwork. She would start off with the Alex, get up, time for school. Get that
Oh no.
Alex, time for school. Twice by a third time. Alexander, I'm like, whoa, like, yeah.
Okay, so you just remind me of a bit. I grew up in Atlanta listening to AM 750 WSB, and at night they had a talk show host, David Paul. It was Off the Wall with David Paul.
That's
And he would
solid.
start every hour with a bit, like a 60-second thing, almost like you hear the parody songs during Rush Limbaugh. It was
Yep,
kind of
yep.
like that. And he had this one bit that was the talking alarm clock, and it would start at good morning, it's 7 a.m., time to wake up. And then it would escalate,
Yep. I need that.
It's time to wake up. It's 7:15. You're going to be late. It's 7:30. Get out of bed. It's 7:45. Don't blame me when you're late and running out the door. And then the last one was like, it's 8 o'clock. All right, you lazy ass. You've been in bed for an hour. If you meant 8 o'clock, you should have set the damn clock for 8 o'clock, And then it blows up the bedroom. Anyway,
I need that, but with Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
Oh,
Could you imagine doing
nice.
that with Samuel L. and just adding a bunch of like MFers in there? Like,
And actually, I mean, my son, he has an alarm clock across the room that he thought was going to be the thing that got him, because he is the deepest sleeper in the world. And so now he has an alarm that has a vibration device underneath. Literally shakes the whole house.
That's
Like I
fantastic.
can hear this thing on the other side of the house, and he still isn't waking up. And it's just like, I'm like, what is happening up there? And it works half the time, I'd say. It gets him up. But anyway, it's
I've officially been trained to wake up because I used to be a multi-alarm person, and my wife is a super light sleeper to the point where like she can get up that one time and maybe fall back asleep. She's bad with that. But if I do the multiple times, she's up and she'll might be up like well before she has to get up. So I have been trained to, when my alarm goes off, get up. Even if I go into the couch and sleep on the couch for like the extra 15 that I want, whatever, I just need to get the hell out of bed. So
yeah, no, I'm just like that. If I wake up once, if I wake up twice, it's definitely over. If I wake up once, it's 50-50. Okay, so this next one, I couldn't tell if this was a real guinea pig or just a stuffed animal. Either way, it doesn't change the cuteness factor of it. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a little dog and a cat, and in between them is a guinea pig. Whether it's a stuffed animal or real doesn't matter. But oh my gosh, this dog does not take kindly to the cat showing a little bit too much interest in the guinea pig. Here's that video. Oh, hell no. Don't you dare raise your paw to that guinea pig. See, the thing doesn't move. That's why I think it's a stuffed animal. But
It's probably a stuffed animal.
yeah. Whoa, look at this, man. It's like, don't you even.
See, the cuteness factor, like, this is the polar opposite of what I was watching the other day. I stumbled on a page when I was, like, doing the Instagram Reels because, you know, you get caught in that wormhole. And quite literally, it was, like, animals attacking animals. And that was the whole page. And it was just, like, it was like wild animals just going at each other. And I just, like, translily watched it. I'm like, what am I doing in my life?
There's some epic battles if you're looking for them.
There's some great ones.
Yeah, that's got to be a stuffed animal. Sorry, I'm just transfixed on. Does the animal ever blink?
It's a pretty realistic looking stuffed animal.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It might be the dog's chew toy, and some dogs, especially small dogs, like make best friends out of their toys, and it's like, don't mess with my toy.
Let's see here. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. All right, let's get into this.
Dumb dog, Raccoon Boom. That's number one. Raccoon Boom. I love your name because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, so I love Raccoon Boom. That's fantastic. But
see, that's a reference that I've seen that handle forever.
I'm an anime nerd. I'm a giant anime nerd. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, so I love your name, Raccoon Boom, but I don't like the dumb dog. That's me. Dogs are awesome. We're here, and then but you know what? I can't was dumb. All dogs are good boys and good girls. Okay, damn it, all of them.
We're always confusing them. But we're always confusing them by asking them who's a good boy. Damn it! Is it not me? What? Why? You're always
I don't ask.
me.
I tell.
Let's see here. Okay. I thought this was just a fun fact here. Let me get the old picture up here. Because we got the Olympics coming up.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Very, very much so. The opening ceremonies will air tonight. I'm pretty sure they're happening now, but y'all can watch them later. But I found this individual whose name is Betty Robinson. So we're going to 1931. This is Betty Robinson. And I want you to hear this. She got into a plane crash in 1931 and was mistakenly pronounced dead. Okay.
Oh,
she spent 7 weeks in a coma. It took her 2 years to learn to walk again. Oh, and then 5 years later, she won a gold medal in the 1936 Olympic Games.
The human body's insane. It really is. Like, and so it's like with people like that, there is no excuse to just not at least be in some sort of shape that's not round, and myself included, right? Like, I always made the joke, like when I was in good shape, like a keg is better than a six pack, but I should go back to having that six pack. I don't need to get drunk. I just need to get a nice buzz and stop being round.
That's awesome, man. You can get there faster with vodka.
Very much so.
See, so I just think that's amazing. Not being able to walk from 1931 to 1933, and then 1936. Yeah, I'm a gold medalist at the Olympics. So there you go. That's fascinating. And then as long as we're talking about all things Olympics, I want to show you this. Let me get this up here. This caught my eye. What you're looking at here is an artist's rendering. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm sorry. I guess maybe it's a pic. Hell, I don't know. Who knows anymore, awesome, man?
Whatever it is.
But this is ballooning happening in 1900.
Ballooning just sounds like dirty. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Ballooning.
That sounds like something that is like in like that's now like ubiquitous on like 4chan or Reddit, and it's like you just see this hot chick ballooning. Like,
oh no. Okay, there will be a new channel, a new board after this. So pilots in hot air balloons competed in events including, this is at the 1900 Olympics. Okay, so the Olympics were in Paris in 1900, and these are some of the events that were related to hot air balloons. Distance flown. Like, do they radio back? Like, how does this work? What are we doing? We're getting to the other side of the continent, and we're like, yep, I guess we won. I don't know. Distance flown, altitude, flight duration. It was only held at the 1900 Paris Olympics. That's pretty wild.
What's
And that's
cool
a
though is
picture.
dealing with like flights and things like that. I know
No,
this
those
is a little off
clowns.
the beaten path. The X Games used to do something really cool. When they were first like really like getting ubiquitous during the 90s and 2000s when Tony Hawk made everything like extreme sports, they used to do, and someone correct me if my memory is terrible. They used to do something where they would go out of a plane and skydive with like a snowboard and do like tricks in a routine while coming down. And they would have like people with cameras like filming them, and judges would score them and stuff. Yeah, it was incredible. And that kind of reminds me like era sports that like, it's not as big as it used to be, but yeah, it's awesome.
So
I'm not surprised the French would do ballooning. Thanks, Dave.
I'm looking at some of these. You know, a good producer would have printed up a story, because there's some new. What are the new events? This thing that I printed up with these events seems pretty limited here. I don't know. And breakdancing is going to be a sport, right? Is that this year?
I don't know if it's this year, but I know it's going in. There's some sports. They're doing a full Olympic esports now. They just announced that they're doing an esport Olympics, and it's the actual IOC, the International Olympic Committee, sanctioned. I don't know if it's going to be a part of an Olympics or separate just for esports, but I would not want to be a guest because it will smell exactly like you think it will in those areas. Like if anyone ever walked into a gaming store while there was like a D&D tournament or Yu-Gi-Oh thing going on or Magic the Gathering, yeah, it will smell that way.
I'm just looking here.
They added pole dancing.
Universities are sinking a lot of money into that esports stuff too. I know.
Yeah. There's a lot of teams and stuff, and the esports are here. They're neither here nor there. There's things about esports.
Let's see here. What I'm doing is I'm looking for a list of the. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have 2 events returning this year.
Oh boy.
Climbing and surfing.
That's fine. Surfing and climbing are dope.
And debuting is breakdancing in the 2024 games.
Wow. It's kind of cool though, because breakdancing does take a lot of physical ability, and it was branched off of a martial art. It's branched off of Brazilian corporea fighting, I believe it was, because like the Brazil. Have you ever played Tekken? The game Tekken back in the day? No. Okay. Well, people that have played Tekken, there was this guy Eddie Gordo, and he was famous for like the way he like kind of fought, and it was like in a breakdance style, and people thought he was dancing, but that's an actual form of Brazilian fighting. So it's like based off, like a branch off of that. So it does take athletic ability to do it.
Okay. I had no idea.
Jeffy could judge the pole dance. I would like to see Jeffy try to pole dance. That'll be hilarious. Do it on a Pat Gray episode.
We'll get one installed in the studio.
It would have to be the size of like a bridge base, though. Like it would have to be like the bridge legs would be for with Jeffy pole dancing.
Let's see here. I am trying to find this video. Okay, so as long as we're in Europe, let's stay there, and let's go to London, and let's go to Buckingham Palace. I don't know. I ran across this video of Hank Azaria in front of the palace there, trying to get, everybody tries to get the guard there to flinch and talk and whatever.
Yes,
beat you to death.
Brazilian combat. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, so he showed up, and he's of course a lot of the voices of the Simpsons, and that was what he attempted to pull off here to try to make the guy blink.
Let's see if the guard is a Simpsons fan at all.
Well, sir, I do voices on the Simpsons. I do motor bartender. Just wanted to thank you for your service here. I'm also police chief Wiggum, so I know what it's like,
I'm also a snake, so if I were to rob anything, you certainly would deter me from that, sir. My goodness,
I'm also Professor Frank. My goodness, you do seem to be concentrated and not at all bothered by what I'm doing over here. Kudos to you, sir.
I don't think he's gonna. A comic book guy, does that matter? Best guard ever.
Okay.
Seems impenetrable.
All right. First of all, how do you see under that hat?
I like when the guards keep to it, and then when the shtick is over, they like break for that moment. Like you've seen that before, where people will do whatever they need to do, and then in the end, they show they're human, and like maybe they'll crack a smile. But
yeah, that guy didn't.
So this might be weird just for me, but I always find it weird when I see voice actors doing the voices.
Oh, that
Like,
bothers you, huh?
It ruins it for me.
Wow.
It almost ruins it for me, and like it shouldn't, because I know there's humans there and they don't look like it. Like it's weird when I see them doing it because I have the image of the person in my head.
Right. I mean, I noticed he didn't mix in a poo for us. He put a poo to rest.
Apu doesn't exist anymore. Okay.
Nope. Yep. That's
accurately depicting what a lot of us see going on in the world is not a thing anymore.
That's right. So I'm sure that you've seen this. It was days ago. Everybody has seen what happened over at the old Yellowstone National Park.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get this thing to play.
Jeffy after Chipotle.
All right. Look at that. That's a bad day at the park. Everybody's okay. Destroyed some of the walkway there, the little pier thing. But that is over what is that, Biscuit Basin, something like that. And
That's
so
what they said,
yeah. So anyway, I think that was what a good day to be there. And so it made me think of the dire predictions of the Yellowstone supervolcano, which, by the way, I want to ask you about that. But I want to actually say I think the greatest tweet about this Yellowstone explosion was Vodka Pundit, who tweeted out, "Are you tired of what's the meteor of death? Are you tired of the broken promises of the what does the S stand for?" And I'll wait for everybody to tell me. But anyway, are you tired of the SMOD's broken promises? Then join me in supporting Yellowstone Caldera, the extinction level event you can trust. So, what was the anyway? So
making the end of the world fun, baby.
Yes. And let's see here. Okay.
What's with all the Jeffy hate? There is no Jeffy hate, Jill. I love Jeffy. I am for all the pad heads watching. I am also a pad head. I reached out to have Keith on at one point, not imagining he would ever jump on my show because to me, Keith was somebody that was like up here because I listened to Keith and says, "Oh, he's a thing." Like I listened to you guys faithfully for years before even like doing my show and things like that. So it's like there is no actual Jeffy hate. I love Jeffy. Chewing the fat's awesome. So just so everyone knows, it is all in jest. And honestly, I'm messing with it. So maybe Jeffy can get mad enough to come on the show.
Oh,
so he can come, at least he'll come yell at me.
That's a good angle. That's a good angle. He
There
would
you
do
go.
the same. Sweet. Why can't I ever remember Sweet Meteor of Death? Thank you.
There
Yes.
you go. There you go.
Wait, and it's on the back of my freaking other laptop. So
reading comprehension is a difficult thing this day and age.
I mean, y'all thought I was bad at math. Apparently, it crosses over into reading as well. So I found this, and I don't really have a comment to make about this. I just thought it was cool, and I want to show y'all as long as we're playing, apocalyptic videos. Where is it? Gosh, man, there's too many tabs open. But apparently, a few days ago, something exploded on the far side of the sun. I never saw an explanation of this, but it's pretty cool. Again, I don't understand what's happening there. It is cool, and I wonder when I saw this, I thought, oh, so what? We got 72 hours before we die, or what? Because it was a few days ago. I don't know until we can't talk on the phone. What's going to happen here? Everything seems to be fine. I think, right? Relatively speaking, in America.
I mean, we did just have that whole CrowdStrike thing go on. Maybe it was this, and they were just trying to get an excuse. But here's the thing: what's going to happen too? What's crazy is we're going to see you guys are just going to melt to death in Texas. It'll be like 110, 115 for like 3 weeks straight, and it'll be 100 by me, high 90s, and then everyone's going to wonder why it's so hot. Well, the sun just exploded for a little bit.
The sun just exploded,
and that will trickle down to us. It's amazing to think that the giant gaseous heat ball in the sky that gives us warmth, when it does things, it might get warmer here.
It might do that. So I found this story. I just kind of, I don't know, whatever. I hit print without really. You'll know if you watch the show. I always appreciate it when the guests read the stories that I send them more than I do. But I don't even know. Did I send you the one about the Earth's core?
No.
Now
I didn't check. You did.
Nah,
maybe you did.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think you did.
but it says Earth's core is now rotating in reverse direction, slowing down. What does it mean?
I saw that.
Yeah, so they have several theories. They have no idea though, but I'm just when you combine what happened at Yellowstone and the predictions there, you got the thing exploding the sun, you got this story. It's like, okay, surely it's over real soon. Am I right? I mean, it's got to be. Come on. It's too
So
much.
it's crazy that you mention it because I'm gonna mention this, and I don't know. I watch a lot of like right leaning things and things like that. So
Okay.
like Tim Pool, I don't know if you guys like him or not, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. He does the Culture War podcast, and he had on two individuals. I'm trying to see which one it was. It might have been with Ben Davidson and Jimmy Corsetti. I think it was with that one, where they talked about there's an impending polar shift coming.
Yeah.
within
Oh,
the
yeah.
next
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
years.
Glenn's actually talked about
And
this a
that
lot
makes
too.
sense. And what they said is one of the ones that said when it happens, it'll be swift, and could potentially have some issues, but it's not going to kill billions. It's not going to kill millions. What it'll be is you'll say, right now it's sunny for us, right? When it happens, we'll get like 36 to 48 hours of sun, no darkness. And then when the shift occurs, the climate will finish shifting. And like here, me in New York, where I have all 4 seasons, we'll get tropical. Florida will then become New York and Maine and things like you'll get a switch. And
So all the Yankees will go back home?
Maybe. You're talking about the Mets, okay? The Mets are the ones that shop down in South America more than we did.
I'm talking about just people up north that moved down south and then they.
Oh yeah, maybe that. I was talking about baseball. It did go over my head.
Yeah,
You said Yankees.
Damn,
listen,
damn Yankees.
I don't think of things in that term, okay? Southern Texan guy.
Let's see here. Hang on a second. Give me 1 second to kind of get organized. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe it will be quick and painless. And I will tell you, if 2020, it just seems like ever since 2020, each year has just gotten progressively worse. And it's almost like we're being Overton windowed into thinking, damn, that 2020, you know what? We were a little harsh on it in retrospect.
Yep. Man, Trump knew something when he commissioned Space Force, because you don't sit there and create a space fighting arm of the military unless there's imminent war that we're going to need with planetary, right? That we'll need space superiority more than air, or they made contacts with aliens. We screwed some ish up and they're coming and we need to figure out something. Like that's my only two explanations why Space Force even exists.
We'll be battling China on the moon at some point for sure. Okay, so I want you to watch this video here. We got some more fun here. Man, I'm telling you, y'all, somebody needs to get organized, and his name is Keith. Okay, so this guy is what is this guy doing? Right?
That's a great still right there. Okay.
Okay, so what do you think is about to happen?
He's trying out for the breakdancing Olympic team.
Okay, all right, and look, it's raining in Paris right now, so maybe he needs to be prepared for. Okay, wet floor there or whatever. Hold on a sec. Time out. ADD.
Do I have a New York accent, Carol?
ADD moment. No, New Jersey. Totally different thing. So, what kind of surface are they going to be breakdancing on?
Probably has to be one of those wooden, either I'd imagine cardboard if they want to be authentic, but it'll probably be like a wooden dance floor, like like the ones you see at weddings. I'd imagine it'd be something like that. Should be cardboard. I'm being honest.
I'd be concerned I'd paralyze myself trying to spin on my spine like that. So this guy, because I mean that'd be par for the course for Keith. So anyway, okay. So we got any predictions as to what you're about to witness here, just based on that picture?
Let's say, yeah, I mean,
breakdancing.
Those kind of look like moccasins.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to press play if we're ready. Let's see how this video goes here. Oh wow! Look at this guy. Holy crap! He's what?
He's just trying not to get his shoes wet. What is
that? Is incredible.
If he does a handstand and walks across, I will be thoroughly impressed. I did not see this video.
Hold on. Wait for it. Okay, good. He made it. Wait, what's this thing hanging off of his neck there? He did all of that to keep a little puppy dry. Are you kidding me? I mean, that was adorable, yes, but it seems like you could have accomplished that without the theatrics. I mean, maybe I'm just jealous, but oh, that ankle didn't do well there.
Yeah, it looks soft, but that definitely didn't feel great.
Uh-huh. But whatever, I mean, this guy is doing this all for a puppy.
Are you sure this guy's French? I don't think French people are capable.
No, he's not French.
Okay.
I was making the whole point of the Olympics.
He's got to be Russian or some Eastern European. That's
well,
like,
look at that thing back
license.
there. That license plate is
Eastern European
Euro.
capable of that.
It's a European license plate.
Something like that.
So congratulations, that dog has someone who loves him.
That's awesome.
All right. So, oh my gosh, have you seen the dadgum turtles swimming together? And then
I mean, we love.
And y'all send the greatest videos.
Catheads love turtles. They're smart, right?
Oh gosh.
And they're
no, they are clearly the dumbest animals. Let's see. Let's see. I can't even get it started, y'all. If turtles weren't so stupid, they wouldn't put straws in their noses. When I see a straw, I put it in my mouth. Straws don't belong there, but the turtles don't know why. Maybe they all deserve to die. Yes.
I was gonna say, if you didn't know that song after playing it 3 times a week, at least.
Yeah. All right. So these guys are staring each other down. And this one's just like,
I've seen this before. Yeah.
Is that a love tap, or is he, egging him on to fight? It almost reminds me of the Three Stooges.
What if we found out that that's like their mating ritual?
That's what I'm afraid of. Okay. You slap me in the face one more time, and we're going home.
Oh boy.
Got here. Oh, this is okay. So this video comes out of Bali, and the monkeys are getting smart there because what they do is they will take your cell phone if you're a tourist or something, and then they hold it for ransom. And unless you give them food, they won't give you your phone back, man. I want you to see this. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. He swiped her phone, and he's just like, "Yep, I got it. Okay, do you want this apple? All right, fine. Here's your phone back. Yep, that's pretty good. Here, yep, watch this. That's pretty good. All right, here you go. I'm out of here. Thanks."
And you're not going to do anything to a monkey. They're small, but they are strong. We make them aggressive, they will mess you up.
She got played. Look at that. Oh, takes it right out of her hand.
But I mean, it's like, this is how dumb we are as a technology society. If there's a live animal in front of you, don't put your phone in front of it. Like, I don't know. And you could see her significant other, husband right there was just so annoyed by her. It's like, I told you not to do that, honey. Like the way he grabs the phone, like he's so frustrated. This isn't the first time she's had her phone taken by a monkey.
You're right. I think you're absolutely right. She's been there. Okay. How much in the course of a typical day? In fact, everybody do this exercise and put the number of hours in the chat there. I want to see this. Think about your day from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going anywhere, so we'll wait for you to tally up how many hours a day you think you sit in a chair.
God. So my job is a driving instructor.
Mm-hmm.
So I am in a chair for at a minimum every day, 8 to maybe 10 hours just to start, just from being a driving instructor. And then when I come home, God, I'm a sloth. Probably at least 12, more than 12, 13 hours a day. It's bad.
Ooh.
It's terrible.
I'm looking at these answers here.
Yeah.
Too many all day. 8. Yeah. All right. So here we go. In the office on transport. Oh gosh, it's a British article. This is from the BBC.com. So I almost feel like compelled. I have to read it like this. But when you use the word transport, in the office, on transport, at home, sitting down is ingrained in most people's days. But due in part to vascular dysfunction, staying sedentary for too long can increase the risk of serious health conditions like cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. Okay, so in 1953...
One second, real quick. 1 second.
What do you got?
So the BBC, which is a more leftist-leaning place now. They used to be more down the middle, but they definitely lean left, right?
Mm-hmm.
the group of people that would probably support something like fat phobia and would probably say, like, don't fat shame people, don't exercising is right wing, are now quite literally saying that sitting too long and not exercising is bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, they cite, they say back in 1953, epidemiologist Jeremy Morris found that London bus drivers were more than twice as likely as bus conductors to develop coronary heart disease. I'm sorry, let's pause real quick. Somebody help me out here. What the hell is the difference between a bus driver and a bus conductor? Hell, what's a bus? I live in America. No, I'm just trying to. So anyway, they basically the story goes through how sitting in look. I got to read this to you. Hold on.
No boy.
Researchers suggest that 120. So if you sit between 2 and 3 hours straight through, then that let's see, is too long. So if you sit for more than 2 hours, that's too. Oh my gosh, we've been sitting here because you and I, I have the guest join at 30 minutes before we go on, and we just go over some things.
Yep.
I am causing. It's a health risk to be a guest on this program.
Well, it's a health risk to ever be a guest on my program. So it's like, it's just in general, just coming on my show is a health risk. So
I guess I'm not requiring that you sit the whole time, Alex. If you want to wander around your house, I mean, that's cool. But now I feel bad because I mean, it's 2.5 hour commitment that my guests make, and I could be causing some really bad heart issues, and I apologize for that.
I don't trust the Brits. They lost twice to us, and they shouldn't have. So I can't trust anything that comes out of them now.
Lost twice to us,
and they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have lost either.
18-12 is a tie if we're lucky.
Oh my God, 18-12 is. All right, are they ready to come back now? While Britain was preoccupied doing real things.
Did we get Canada? Wasn't that an objective? Did they stop taking our sailors?
I guess they did, but they burned down our freaking White House.
Right, that's what I say. It's a tie if we're lucky. Let's see here. Okay. Oh my gosh, what would you do? Did I send you the story about the guy who got paid 330 times his salary?
Yes.
Holy crap! Listen,
yes.
I've figured out what I would do.
But in Chile, it's like $16.
Okay,
like we'd be getting $16 American.
So this guy in Chile who checked his bank balance only discovered that his employer had accidentally paid him a lot more than he was owed. The man received, now don't get hung up in dollar amounts because like you just said, by comparison, the 165 million Chilean pesos is equal to $528 American. I'm sorry, $175,000 American. Instead of what he should have normally gotten is 500,000 pesos, around 528. So in other words, they ended up paying him 330 times, which is the equivalent to 175,000
still pretty
US.
Nice.
Still pretty nice.
I wouldn't be mad at 175K.
Yeah. Let's see here. So the unnamed man worked for the Industrial Food Consortium. Hell, I don't know. Who cares? So they distribute cold cuts. So so he saw the error, and he actually told someone that, hey, my paycheck is wrong. He told someone in HR or wherever, hey, this is wrong. I got paid 330 times. I said, now I don't know how much this guy's been sitting at work either.
That's true.
He did that just to help his heart out. You know what I'm saying? So he spotted the mistake. He told him, and then it didn't seem like anybody cared, but apparently it made it up to the big bosses. And so they called him and they said, yeah, we're going to need you to return that extra money. And he said, you know what? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go to my bank and I'm going to take care of this, because I tried to tell you at the beginning, this bank error in my favor. And so, so the next day came and he didn't show up to work and they haven't found him.
I mean, I don't know what I would do.
Okay,
because like the bottom line is they could figure out in America, especially, they could figure out a way to get that money back without me. They wouldn't need me to give it back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like spending it all would end up putting me in the negative and they'd probably sue me somehow.
So you're right. The IRS would, I guess this wasn't from the government. It was from the company. But I'm trying to think here. Y'all help me understand something here.
Dude is in Argentina by now. Yeah. Malay. Afuera.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just thinking here. See, $175,000 isn't enough to
Run away.
disappear forever.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like I would totally do the right thing here. Now, if it were, say, 175 million, I don't know that I can be trusted to do the right thing. I mean, I love you at the Blaze, my employer. Thank you for paying my mortgage for me. If I make it to next week, August 3rd, it'll be 15 years. So I really appreciate that. But if you put $175 million, I don't know how much. I don't know what the odds are you'll see me again.
If you showed up to work after them making that mistake, they would look at you and be like, "You moron!" Like,
You moron.
everyone at the Blaze would sit there and be like, "What's
Right.
wrong with you? Why are you here?" Like, and they would all yell at you probably, and they'd be like, "Go hide somewhere before the
Right.
highlights find you." Like,
Or maybe you take 20 grand out and go, no, it was only 155,000. I'm sorry. You check your math. I mean, I did the right thing. I brought you back the money, but your numbers are wrong here.
See, that might be something I would go with.
We were talking
extra.
We were talking about my coworker Jeff Fisher.
Yeah,
and he's got the greatest, I guess, Jeffy scam ever. If you ever find yourself in this position, is if if you are fortunate enough to be somewhere where a Brinks truck doors blow wide open and cash is flying on the interstate and everyone's stopping, you're grabbing it or whatever, then you grab as much as you can and you get out of there. And then the next day, when they're looking for everybody and matching license plates and stuff, then you go to the police and you say, hey, my conscience got the better of me. Here you go. I'm bringing the money back. I feel bad about it. So here you go. Now, if you grabbed $3 grand out of the air, you're only turning in 500.
Yep, exactly.
And you still made a profit. That's a good day of driving down the highway, 2,500.
Because they can't prove that it was you that took it all. Maybe other people took more, and you just returned your piece. Here's the thing. Jeffy has loose morals at times, but he is also right at times. All right? Like, so.
Jeffy's last name should be Gray, not Pat's. Because he's got that gray area where, some of this, some of that. Yeah.
Jeffy Gray and Pat Fisher.
So this next story, I think a lot of people would see this and just roll their eyes and be like, all right, whatever, I got it. Okay, here we go. But I got to tell you, as I'm reading the story, I want everybody to understand, I am 100% on the side of this prisoner here in Texas who is taking the state to court. And his name is Michael Garrett. He sued the Texas Department of Criminal Justice more than a decade ago, and he's working from inside to keep the case alive. So in March of 2013, Garrett filed a federal lawsuit against the Texas Department of Criminal Justice while he was housed at the McConnell unit in South Texas. The suit said that the prison's 24-hour schedule was so packed and security checks so frequent that people inside were only being allowed about 4 hours of sleep per night. And even those were interrupted. The result is prolonged sleep deprivation that he says is damaging his health and violates his 8th Amendment rights, which protect against cruel and unusual punishment. Michael Garrett, you have a right to sleep. I think people maybe right now are hearing me say, what are you talking about, Malinak? 100% cruel and unusual not to let someone get a full night's rest. And this is from someone who doesn't get a full night's rest and who knows that their health is being affected by not getting a full night's rest. If I was a ward of the state, which he basically is as a prisoner, you can't be doing security checks at 2 a.m. and 3:30, and then we'll hit you again. Stop it. Stop it. Let the prisoners sleep. Come on. I'm totally with this guy. And he's getting some victories in court. And I hope it ends up. Listen to here we go. I want to hear your thoughts on this in a second here, but let me read this. Each night as he gets into his bottom bunk bed, time out. Let me stop right there. I can so relate to this story that because I just said we talked about sleeping earlier. Yes, I'm a light sleeper. Yep. If a light gets flipped on at my neighbor's house down the street in their backyard that faces away from my bedroom window, I'll still wake up to it. if someone drops a pen at the end of the street, it's like, oh my gosh, why is it so loud out there?
I can't
Anyway,
take that at all.
so this guy, each night as he gets into his bottom bunk bed, he forces himself to find some sense of calm. He'll think back on a good conversation, recall a memory from being, I don't need this crap, from being locked up. Okay. Anything to distract himself from the ambient light. The sounds of the heavy mechanical gates, amen, opening and closing, the mosquitoes coming through the cracked windows and making a meal of him. All right, now, who the hell? Hold on, time out. Who wrote this?
This is why you screen your articles, people. If
you're right, Malin.
If you're ever going to production school, screen your articles.
Yeah. Let's see. In his 9x5 cell, which he shares with a bunkmate, any comfort comes from his imagination. I can see this. I mean, like, I've been at summer camps as kids where people won't go to sleep. I'm the old fuddy-duddy. Like I said, I'm a boomer, really. But I'm trying to find out. Something strikes me, not that it should affect my my view of this story, because this would be hypocritical, because I just told you I absolutely agree with this. But now I'm thinking, what does this guy do to get into prison? Because maybe I'll change it.
If part of my opinion.
Yep. If he touched little kids, then screw it. This isn't cruel and unusual.
Anyway.
Right? If he is a pedophile, and I'm not suggesting that because I don't know, then it's not cruel and unusual. You see, like the punishment. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Does it say what he?
It should say it's public record on what they're in for. It should be public.
Yeah, but I don't know how to look this up.
The fact that they don't tell you what he's in for might be.
Yeah.
It's more scary that they don't tell you why.
Okay, here we go.
Maybe he's a J6 prisoner.
Throw the book at him.
10 years he's been in there.
He was sentenced to life after being convicted of multiple felonies in Dallas and Collin counties.
Well, what are they?
Okay.
Felonies.
It doesn't say.
Felonies are a lot of things.
Yeah. So how would you handle this?
So it all depends on what they're in for, to be quite honest. So for me, if they are in for life, no chance of parole, leave them alone. That's where they live, right? Mm-hmm. That's their house. It's where they live. And the one thing I've heard from many corrections officers, the ones you get the most trouble from are not your lifers. Your lifers know that they're there forever, and they just want to live. They really don't cause as many problems as people think. Like, the maximum security prisons aren't as terrible as a lot of people think in a lot of ways. So if they're there for life, leave them alone. They're not going anywhere for the most part. They're not trying to break out. John Dillinger is a very rare person, right? Now, if they are people that are, fresh in, or maybe having a chance at leaving, they have court cases that they are frequently going to because it's new, absolutely check up on them all the time. You need to know what they're doing. You need to know if they're trying to hatch anything, if they're fresh in, if they're I think they need to. But also, I don't want to hear about the ambient light. I don't want to hear about any of that because people sleep in the city. And you get used to the noises, you get used to the sounds. So the fact that this individual hasn't gotten used to it yet is a them problem. This
is a New Yorker.
That is not a me problem. And that you got yourself put in this system from something you did, and now you're complaining that you can't adjust to it. I'm sorry. I've stayed times and end up in prison, and you won't have to deal with that.
I've stayed in these hotels that don't have blackout curtains. And
that's
in
a
the
crime.
city.
See,
that should be.
You
should knock off half of my bill when I check out in the morning. But here I found out what he's convicted of. You ready?
What is he convicted?
Listen to this: aggravated robbery with a loaded weapon, theft, and aggravated sexual assault.
Yep, wood chipper. Now it's not pedophilia; it's sexual assault. But it's not pedophilia, so it's like.
But it's definitely aggravated sexual assault would be rape. Right?
Yes. Yes. Period. Yeah. So
you know what? I don't care that he can't sleep. It sucks for you.
Yeah. And you know what? Who wrote that article? Where's that article from?
Texas Observer. Is that a lefty thing? I think it is.
Well, if it's not, then we need to excommunicate them from the right sphere and just launch them into the ether. They need to go with Quillette and friggin' Claire Lehman over there and be launched into the ether.
Here we go. The Texas Observer is an American magazine with a liberal political outlook.
That's why they're trying to give sympathy to
no. And it's published by the Texas Democracy Foundation.
Oh my God.
Womp, womp. You know what?
Same group of people that are installing their candidates love democracy.
You know what? I changed my mind. you know what? I don't care that you can't sleep. You're lucky that we aren't blasting heavy metal music while you're trying to rest if you rape someone. Anyway,
I agree.
enjoy your stay.
Hold on, that's a clip. Like, we need to clip your first opinion, and then we need to clip the end and just put them like how Keith has turned. Like,
I mean, look, I'm honest with my audience. I'm not gonna just come up here and be like, well, it's just that I stand on the principle that I had at the beginning of the story. No, I changed.
Raccoon, he screen your articles. I just said, yeah,
I did. I didn't screen the part of what he was convicted of. Anyway, let's see here.
But that's the fun of doing live streams. We all learn together.
Yeah, we all learn together. Amen.
Looking at a left-wing woman these days can be called sexual assault. Just saying, from Benjamin. I mean, but most of them look like blue-haired dudes anyway, so you're not looking at them. So a lot of them are making it well known that they don't want to be looked at.
That's funny.
I'm gonna nuke your channel with half the things I say. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Be you. I'm just trying to figure out what story I want to do next here.
Fauci Malinak. Wow. I mean, listen, the only thing that you can go at, Keith, is ardent RFK Jr. support. That's the only thing we need to go.
Okay, hold on. That hit below the belt. Raccoon Boom. Don't you ever put my name in the same sentence as Anthony Fauci, unless it's
in Raccoon's defense.
I don't get this channel banned, so we'll just leave it there.
If Tony Fauci wasn't such a dirtbag, Fauci Malinak is a badass name. Like, it's a cool name. If it wasn't associated like Fauci is Adolf, right? Like, to the right now. Like, people won't name their kids Adolf because they don't want to be like Hitler. No one's gonna say Fauci, but Fauci Malinak, that sounds like I could write like a murder mystery about a guy named Fauci Malinak, and like he's figuring things out. Like,
just one more thing. Hold on a second.
Figuring out how to kill everyone else while lying to them. That's
I have just recently discovered that I need to I got to get a koozie up in here. But the problem is, this is my ADD, obviously. See how you got that thing right there? That's smart. That's smart.
This is a gift. This is a gift from my daughter's U4 soccer team. When I coached them.
Cool. That's what was the record? What was the record?
They were U4. We don't keep score, but we had a ringer, and he's fantastic.
Stop. Hold on. I just wanted to say real quick, and then we got to get back to a much bigger topic. I must find, do they make a koozie that is wider than just like a can? Like, I need a koozie that I can put a glass in, because I'm tired of the glass ends up
now is that
all over my table here.
Is that one of those, like, it looks like more like a jar, right? Like,
it's a mason jar, glass, mason jar. Yeah.
You could they probably have something for, like, because that's like your classic like ball mason jars, right? Like the ball brand.
That's what it is.
So they definitely would. You could probably custom make that. Go to Etsy. Etsy has everything. You can get it from Etsy.
Okay.
If it won't be crazy expensive, Etsy, everything is like fairly cheap.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about something here that you just inadvertently touched on. I refuse to be a part of a league where they don't keep score. I don't care what the age is.
I do care, because here's the thing. It depends on the game, right? Number one, kids know what the scores are. They're not stupid.
By the way, people, I will not be changing my opinion this time. Go ahead.
No, here's the reason why. Because when it comes to certain games, when they're that young, you just want them. You want them to enjoy the game.
Okay, I want them to learn the game. Right.
Yes, learn it and enjoy it. So kids, when they're that competitive and they are mean, can be more demoralized. They start keeping score in this league at the U8. So 7, 6, that's young enough, because most of your sports leagues don't keep score when they're younger. They really don't.
Yeah, that's a
football starts in second grade, like with the Mighty Mites and things like that, or whatever, AYF. They're like, that's their age. I'm not mad about that with the young. I am all about keeping score when they're older.
They're 4 years old, right?
4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Can they count?
Some of them. It's American education. Remember that. Public schools allow them.
So what you might want to do is you could maybe teach them to count by counting how many times the ball goes in the net. Maybe you want to do that.
I will tell you this: the kids all know the score. But
so this is for the parents. So the parents can feel good about not demoralizing their kids.
It's also easier. It is easier as a coach than trying to teach the kids just how to play.
So
you want them to come back. The point of young is to come back. Once you get to travel, it's to win, period.
Okay.
And once you get older, it's to win.
Mhm.
See, that's he's
I
thinking less of me now.
I am a highly competitive
I agree.
individual,
Oh hell yeah!
and I have always competed. In fact, I know for a fact the first year that I played T-ball, we kept score, and I know for a fact that I played on a team called the Falcons. I don't know. And the best team in the league was the Royals. And the reason I knew that is because the Royals only lost one game all year, and that was to the Falcons until the championship game, and then they kicked our ass when it counted. But anyway, I want to tell you that this story alone illustrates the difference. I knew I was going to screw this up.
You
Damn
did.
it, I was sitting here.
You did. Come on. And anyway, it's New York. I'm in New York, not even Jersey anymore.
Okay, fine. You know what? This isn't. You know what? This sucks now. Now I don't like this.
That's okay. Texas and their here's the thing. Texas is on a downward trajectory now that they're a purple state. Okay,
I know.
So,
Purple about to be blue because of the trash system of all of these illegal ballots that are getting into the system from the registration is the word the man is groping for here lately. And in fact, you mentioned Tim Pool earlier.
yeah,
and Tim
because
Pool
he was the
really
one that brought up
exposed
the
this.
registration. Yep.
He exposed this about 6 months ago, and I'm terrified for what November 5th could look like for the state of Texas.
And the
Never mind
answer
the
was
nation.
not satisfactory from Texas. Ken Paxton's been great. He needs to be better. He needs to get a better answer for that because as good as he's been, I don't care if you're good. You got to get your feet held to the fire. Your answer of nothing wrong here, it's okay in Texas doesn't fly. Okay, it does not fly. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble. I know you guys are but
there's nothing that
I know.
Hold on. No.
Tedious.
Stop. Time out. I would never not say something because it might make my employer look bad. If that's where you were going with that,
I
you
know.
guys. Hold on. Let me finish. I would only stop saying something if it's just because I don't feel like talking about it, particularly in this forum.
That makes sense.
But my take on the Attorney General of the state of Texas is, yeah. End quote.
Understandable.
That's my take. Okay, so what else we got here? Okay, I thought this was really cool, and I keep forgetting to try it, and I'm a dumbass for not trying it because I sit on the back patio, and oh my gosh, I haven't even looked out here. And by the way, can you hear Tanner snorting? What I mean, Hunter Biden, is that you? What do you got back there? Good grief! It's like... Anyway, so I'm not going to show y'all, but I was just looking for the first time. Both of my ankles are just eaten alive with mosquitoes, and it's just so aggravating as hell back there. And what pisses me off is that in addition to getting eaten alive back there, this whole time I've had this story waiting for our conversation today, and it's like I haven't even gone to the pantry to look for try this one trick. Vanilla extract should keep the mosquitoes away. I'm eager to try it, but dumbass forgot and got eaten alive out there. So I don't know. Has anyone ever tried?
I don't want to smell like vanilla and have that sticky vanilla extract all over.
Okay, but here's what I'm thinking. I sit in the same spot every time I go to the patio.
Yeah.
So why don't I just slather it with vanilla extract, like the little chair thingy couch out there, and let that instead of wearing it myself. You see.
The citronella doesn't work for you guys down there? The citronella candles?
I've never had luck with that. I keep a bug zapper out there, but it's really only effective after dark.
Yeah. I mean, the only people I knew that had like success is when they had like the torches, like it was like a freaking ritual around their patios or whatever. They had all the torches all around it.
Yep.
They had the citronella like that, like creates a barrier. I mean,
However,
I've been fortunate.
You don't want me around an open flame, though. That's kind of the thing.
Are you that clumsy?
So,
or do you just like fire? Are we discovering that you're a pyro?
No, clumsy is probably the word. Yeah. In fact, a lot of folks don't know this fun story. There was like a children's theater or something when I was a kid, and we did a field trip. And I'll try to make this short, but it's already spiraling out of control because I can't really set the stage. But anyway, they had to give a role to everybody for like it was like you were playing out historical moments in American history.
Yes.
And I don't know how to explain this, but anyway, this guy, one of the roles was a guy named like Dr. Klutz, Klutz, and he was like a traveling salesman that was a con man that would come through the towns or whatever. And so the teacher was assigning roles at this children's theater, and she's like, Keith, you can be the Klutz guy because that's what you are.
Whoa!
What you are. It was funny. See, we weren't sensitive in the 80s. Okay,
that's awesome.
I was 7 years old. And so there you go. It's a fun little story.
See, those are the jokes that I still make with kids, and like that's also because I don't care about quote unquote getting canceled.
Yes.
You know, I never did.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, I'll make those
she
type of
was
jokes.
a bitch for a teacher, but that was a funny line. I mean, I laughed along with it. It was cool.
The mean teachers always end up being like decent people when you get older and you talk to them again. Like
you run into them in the grocery store or
they
something.
Just hate their jobs and hate their lives, so they're mean to the kids. But it's like they're like actually pretty decent people.
Well, yeah, and it was so when you would see them out in public, it was surreal. You were just like, wait, what? What? They don't just live at the school in their classroom. They have lives. They go to Kroger. They go to the grocery store. By the way, this is so off tangent. Speaking of teachers in grocery stores, I had a 10th. Let's see, what grade was this? 7th grade teacher. His name was Mr. Mack. Mr. Mack had white hair, white beard. It was short for Mr. McMillan. And I'm kind of pissed about this because ever since 7th grade, I've been waiting for this to happen in my life so I could bust somebody at the grocery store. He said, when you go to the grocery store and you're going through checkout and you've got your produce there, you watch the cashier. You watch them. They'll push their fingers down on that scale, and they will make sure that they charge you more. Okay, first of all, no flunky cares. No, nobody running the cash register that cares how much I'm paying for squash. Okay, bro. Nope. And I have for my entire life now. This is what pisses me off, man. So for the last 30 years, every time I've gone through the grocery store, now you weigh it yourself, but every time I would go through there, I would watch those fingers. I'm like, so help me, Mr. Mack's going to be vindicated right now in this line today. I'm watching that scale. Just you try me. You set that bag down and you push those 2 fingers and just do it. Do it. Never. Come on.
You know what? That probably happened once to him at like a farmer's market, and it scarred him. And the thing is, too, like you could always make sure you knew what you had because there were always those little before even like the scan it things that we had.
Oh now, yeah,
it was always the analog scales that you could. Yep. And my grandmother and my mother, they would all use it because they would have their recipes. They'd know like generally how much things they needed to weigh, so they would use those scales. So they'd be like, "Hey, I need 3 pounds of potatoes." So boom, I'm gonna get. So you generally knew what you were paying for anyway. Mm-hmm. So even when they did the scale at the supermarket, you knew.
Well, what sucked is when you would go up to those analog scales and they would already be like, you know, 2.25 pounds or
Keith
something.
Is screwed. Trying to do math, add 2.25 to whatever.
That's it. That's exactly what I'd be like. Oh crap. So wait, it's now 3.5. It was
carry the 6 and
how
do I add fractions again?
Can somebody? You're not busy, are you? Can you come and do the math? Let's see here.
You go get you go get the 2nd grader. Come here.
Yeah, right. Second. That's a fact. You know, because we homeschooled our kids, and when they got to about 5th grade, I was out. I'm out as far as math goes. Yep, that's I'm good.
The kids on Are You Smarter in a 5th grader had to be homeschooled.
Because
they were actually smart.
I've never seen that show. You know what though? That was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy, right?
Yes, it was.
So he was a comedian in Atlanta when I was growing up, and so one time he called into Glenn Beck when I was Glenn Beck's phone screener, and I would call the guests and book the guests, all that stuff. And so he was getting ready to go on with Glenn once years ago, and I said, "Hey, Mr. Foxworthy, about to put you through to Glenn Beck. I appreciate you making time today. I just want you to know I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia." "Oh, that's cool. You know, you're redneck like me." And I'm like, yeah. And so I said, can I just say that Atlanta's Funniest Home Videos was an awesome show?
Oh my God.
And he goes, I've been in entertainment for 50, whatever he said. No one has ever brought up Atlanta's funniest home videos.
Hey, we know what those are moments though, right? Because
Mm.
he probably sat there and was like, all right, this guy didn't just tell me he's a fan. He legit let me know. He let me know he was a fan without saying it, right? Like,
Without saying it,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. So kind of on the math science thing here, I ran across this fun fact. I mean, this is just kind of a cool story. Have you ever heard of the name Dmitry Mendeleev?
Dmitry Mendeleev?
Russian chemist.
Yeah,
He
I've
is
heard the name
guy-
Dmitry Mendeleev.
Okay. He
I don't know
created
what's
the
there.
periodic table of elements.
That's it.
Now, his inspiration is what is so cool. And it's a card game called Solitaire.
Really?
So what he did is he had these 63 elements, and he was trying to figure out a way to organize them and all this stuff to what we know today as the chart, the periodic element chart. And so what he did is he created a set of cards, one for each element, and then meticulously noted the atomic weight and properties on each card. And as this article says, this innovative approach allowed him to physically manipulate and compare the elements, seeking patterns and relationships among them. He organized the cards by increasing atomic mass. He noticed that certain properties of the elements began to repeat periodically. This was a significant breakthrough as it suggested a natural order to the elements that could be predicted and understood. The gaps he identified in this sequence indicated that there were elements yet to be discovered, but whose properties he could predict based on the emerging pattern. Solitaire, and the article, I didn't read all of this, but it talks about he would take these cards everywhere for days, I think weeks, ride the train with him and all this stuff, and he would have all his cards laid out, and he would I think that's a pretty cool story there. But now hold on, now that
That's
I think about
badass. When I was playing Solitaire on the computer, I was actually hanging out with Dmitry Mendeleev.
You didn't know that, and now you do. But now that I'm thinking about this, I'm being serious. This isn't a joke. Let's say he's on the train and he's got his cards out. He doesn't have a camera, doesn't have a laptop. I'm trying to think of, like, does he have to catch a different train and make a switch there at Newark Penn or whatever? And then he's like, oh, freaking, where did I put the, wait, was lead over here? Where the hell was mercury? I mean, how do you, I'm just trying to think of how he was able to replicate that. I would just leave it at home on the dining room table and revisit it every night.
Unless they had magnets back then, didn't they? Like a magnet board, and he could like magnetize them, even though it was using a solitaire style. But
listen to
magnetize it. That's the only thing I could think of.
His dedication to this method was intense. He took the cards with him everywhere, reflecting on the arrangement at all times. How? Let's see. So on February 17th,
his intellect, it was burned in his brain. He could probably put that set however he wants. Like,
what if they had colors? They had to have. I don't.
Well, I mean,
am I thinking too much of this? I feel like I should stop the podcast right now, and we should all watch like a 2-minute short on the creation of the periodic element chart now, just to see how this they do a reenactment of him on the train. I
mean, that is, I'm trying to think. So I could only imagine that he had them in order at all times. So whenever he wanted to like replace it, he would just have them in order.
I'm just looking here.
And he had to have a photographic memory. All like those geniuses have photographic memories.
Boy, I'd love to have that. That would have made school so much easier, you know.
Wouldn't be here doing this. I would be somewhere else, probably wealthy, because those people can like. Some people use it for good and make money. Other people just use it to like play Call of Duty. But regardless, it works. And even now, like playing Call of Duty gets you a lot of money if you're good at it. So
that's awesome. Let's see here. All right, so let's put this on the screen here. Can you see that?
Not yet. It's rolling. It's
My bad. I scrolled down there because you know what? I got distracted. I was looking. Can you see on the right side?
Yeah,
see that? The story of Money for Nothing is weirder than you thought. I need to watch that later. That caught my eye. Sorry. All right, so here we go. Let's just see here. Great educators and animators. Look at me just stealing content. My apologies.
No,
All right, you're
well, I
gonna have-
mean, it's credited over there. You
Yeah,
can see.
yeah. Ted
Ted
Ed. Thank you, Ted Ed. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Ted.
you making time.
Periodic table is instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
It's not just in every chemistry lab worldwide. It's found on T-shirts,
Time out. I recognize
Wait,
this.
who has a
voice.
T-shirt with the periodic table on it?
coffee mugs, and shower curtains.
Cool people.
What?
But the periodic table is.
Okay. Cartoon character showering.
I
All
want
right. What do we got here? This
Let's look
better-
at one of the first versions of the periodic table from around 1870.
Oh, wait.
Here we see elements.
But how did he make it? Show us the cards. What a lie. Hey, I want to see him on the train with the cards. I'm pissed now. I feel like I've misled the audience, and I just can't.
It's found on T-shirts.
Can't live with myself. We're going to stop this. Anyway, look it up on your own time, y'all. It'll be fun. You'll have fun doing that. Let's see here. Okay, do you do a lot of traveling, Alex?
I don't.
Anybody?
I don't do a ton of traveling. I've traveled. Actually, just started going on planes not too long ago. So I was looking at this, and I'm like, I'm gonna be useful for this one. I mean, useless for this.
Well, you
one.
want me to save this for the next guest? Because I know Andrew Gruel does a lot of.
Andrew
traveling.
Gruel certainly does a lot of traveling. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could ask it twice if you wanted to.
Well, I just.
I'm kind of.
Yeah,
I'm-
that's fine. You know, well, I'm going to save it. I'm
There
going to
you go.
save it because it deals with airports and frequent travelers and stuff.
I'm not a freaking traveler.
You're not a freak. Yeah. Okay. That's
No.
Did you see that this is a bad day at the office? Did you see a couple of weeks ago? I didn't get to this last week that the Falcon 9 rocket it went up there and it was carrying 20 Starlink satellites, and then several minutes into the flight, the upper stage engine malfunctioned, and now they've got all of these. They had a liquid oxygen leak, and so what happened was, and this, by the way, this was the first SpaceX rocket to fail in almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And so what happened was the satellites are now in the wrong orbit. That feels like it's a problem. And so they're now going to fall through the atmosphere and probably land on all of us. Just heads up. You might want to look up.
Here's the thing. This is where I would like Space Force to become a thing, right? Because this is where theoretically you would have Space Force leap into action. You know, a private civilian did something, you know, that could possibly be detrimental with their company, and Space Force cleanup crew. Here we go. Like that's how I picture this. Like eventually we have a bunch of like highly trained astronauts that can perform dangerous things that we can't, like the military does, right? Like they're highly trained. They do things that we wouldn't think of
They're
doing.
almost, so in this case, you're saying they would almost be like the Coast Guard rescuing somebody out on the sea. Something.
Kind of, you know, be ready to fight if they need to, but you know, also be up there and maybe they can clean up the bunch of dead satellites. That are
Oh,
up there
you're saying
too.
just go and get the ones that are okay. I got you.
Yeah, like help out, like do something, because like you said, that could be falling on top of us at some point. So instead of that, Space Force up there to do something.
Hey, do my job for me if you don't mind, Alex.
Yeah,
Can you
no
Google what is the mission statement for Space Force? I would love to know that, and then share that with us when you find that, because I am curious what it says here. Right.
Mission statement.
Appreciate you doing that while
Of course.
I got ready for our next little topic here. So, by the way, whenever you see me using a dry erase marker, it's because I can't find a Sharpie. And the reason I can't find a Sharpie is because I never put anything back where it goes. So when I grab this this mug here, as you can see, it's my day job, Packer Unleashed. You'll see it's filled. Oh no, wait, it's not filled with Sharpies and pens and stuff. It's got a pair of scissors and a green dry erase marker. Okay, what do you found there on the old
old interweb? So the U.S. Space Force's mission statement is to organize, train, and equip Guardians to conduct global space operations that enhance the way joint and coalition forces fight, while also offering decision makers military options to achieve national objectives. So
not to keep us safe from
singular
from
focus
space
is
debris.
on defending the nation's freedom to operate in space, improving defense technology, global security, and communication through military space power. I mean, this may fall under that category because, you know, improving technology, global security, having things plunge down that have potential chemicals in there is security.
So you just read the mission for Space Force. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna organize here while I make this point. I didn't catch it. Maybe I just missed it. I missed the part about kick China's ass on the moon. Was that part of that or no?
I mean, they must have forgotten to put that one there
Okay.
because
Well,
kicking China's ass should always be in our mission statement, right?
did you see that this? And you know what? Shame on me for not doing my job. I should have pulled the picture here. I know we've seen this kind of thing a lot. When you're scrolling around, you'll say like, previously undiscovered tribe has been discovered. Well, I mean, this is NBC News. More than 50 members. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
It's NBC News.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be reading from a true news source. My apologies. Anyway, NBC News reports that more than 50 members of an uncontacted indigenous tribe have been photographed on a riverbank in the remote Peruvian Amazon near to an area where logging companies have been granted concessions by the country's government. Wow. So run-on sentence just to make a point that, oh my gosh, they're
great journalist.
Yeah. The large group from the Mashco Piro appeared in recent days near the southeastern village of Monte Salvado, which belongs to the Yain people, smaller group of 17. In other words, they're saying that this is a previously uncontacted indigenous tribe. So I think that's kind of cool. And
cool.
It makes you think like there's a thing in the Bible where it says like, until the word of God gets to every corner of the world, you guys are okay to exhale. You're going to be left alone for a while, right? Isn't that? I mean, I'm not a pastor here, but it just, when you see something like that, you're like, oh crap, we haven't been everywhere yet. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Of course, I did hear one time, a long time ago, Steve Dace had somebody on. It's the local pastor there that he has on all the time.
I forget his name, but yeah, Steve has.
And he made a good point. He was like, the internet is that, that's taking the word of God to all far corners of the world. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a good point, bro. All right, I never thought of it like that.
Thing is, considering that they've only, I think, actually ventured into around 10 to 15% of the Amazon rainforest, they haven't actually gone into most of it. A lot of it is very undiscovered because it's incredibly dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's really thick. Humans going into it, they're harsh conditions to get into there. And humans like sunlight, and you do not get sunlight when you are walking through there generally because it's so thick. So not surprised that there maybe is some undiscovered stuff. And that makes me think of North Sentinel Island. Do you know about North Sentinel Island?
Not a clue. Talk to me.
It is a place that no one goes to because the tribes there are incredibly aggressive. And if you try
Where is this?
North Sentinel Island is, let's see, boom, it's one of the Andaman Islands, an Indian archipelago, and the Bay of Bengal, which also includes South Sentinel. So Bay of Bengal, I don't know where the hell.
So over in Asia then.
Somewhere like, yeah. So there was a guest that we had on our show, and Lord Miles Rutledge, who was the individual that was caught behind enemy lines when Afghanistan fell. He was the British guy that was there and that became friends with the Taliban and is now like doing business in Afghanistan for their gold repletes, I think, and stuff like that. And he's just your average British adventurer, and he just likes going places. And his first mission was he would go to places with whatever money he was able to take out of his account. And he's a devout Christian. So he would go to any Christians in the area that were struggling and just give them all the money and leave. And that was his first mission. But he got caught behind enemy lines in Afghanistan. And he was there for a little while, and then he got recaptured at some point, but just kind of hung out because they're friendly with him.
There are so many places in this world that are actually very remote.
Oh yeah,
that are just, we can't even imagine being in this country and thinking our thought of rural is getting outside the perimeter around the city, the highway, the interstate. There
we are so pampered in the Western world. We don't understand just the West in general, not American, just like the way that we I've always thought how just ungrateful we are because of all the technological advancements, right? Like we're sitting here from Texas and New York talking to each other every day. When we get up, Keith, we expect that when we flip our lights on, electricity happens. When we turn our faucet, the water runs and eventually gets hot if it's hot water, right? Like these are all things that probably still a good majority of the world could only wish for. And it's like we are just ridiculously ungrateful here. And it's not surprising it's a lot of remote stuff.
Well, I mean, we had that big ice storm in February of 2021, and we had to boil our water for a better part of an afternoon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that was probably it's just annoying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we had the ability to, because we had power, we had electricity. But no, So I'm just wondering, this tribe is able to be undetected from their government.
Mhm.
So the way I was looking at it is, okay, so what's the equivalent in America? Like if I wanted to hide from my government, what part of but still stay in this country, where would I go? It would have to be Alaska, right?
Alaska or some of the mountain ranges where they're like almost uninhabitable, and you could like figure out a way to do it because no one goes into the mountains. Mountains are pretty harsh. You can go hang out with the goats on the side of the mountain if you could figure out a way.
I feel like the Air Force could get up there. Maybe helicopters and stuff. I don't know.
I don't
So,
know how
you know what? I had a topic a few weeks ago, and so I'll ask you: what would you prefer? A deserted island all to yourself, or be way up in the mountains, far away from everything up there? What would you choose here? And everyone can comment here if you like. I'd like to
Urban
know.
Island or mountains? Probably island because I have Spanish blood and Mediterranean Italian, so I could deal with the sun better, and I don't mind the cold, but mountains are cold. They get painful. But in the end, everything's trying to kill you in nature, so it would suck in general. As long as if I had modern amenities, it would be dope. Do I get modern amenities there, or am I just kind of stuck?
Well, you just get satellite TV so you can watch football. That's it. That's the only one you get.
I mean, that's fine. I'll
You
just
have to catch rainwater and stuff.
I'll just watch my Jets hurt me every week as they, because they will always hurt me. Because, I'm a seasoned Jets fan. All I want out of this year is Aaron Rodgers to play 5 plays and 1 completion. Successful year if we get 5 plays and 1 completion.
So if you're on an island, though, I know it gets cold and you got the blizzards and the whatnot and the mountains, right? But now you got hurricanes to worry about on that island. I mean, and you got to build your own shelter. This doesn't come with a I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along.
I have watched a lot of those, like I think Naked and Afraid and stuff like that, and like a Lone Survivor. Like there's like a one where they like have competitions. People always do better in the warmer climates because humans are meant to be in warm areas. We're not meant to be in cold areas. We adapt much better in warmth, which is why every time in history when there's like a heat age, like a warming, humans flourish. Like during like the Renaissance, we were in a hot period of our existence. So we flourished. That's probably one of the biggest flourishing moments ever.
Yeah.
And the internet and things like that, like we're coming out of an ice age slowly right now, and we're getting hotter and hotter slowly, and we're getting more technologically advanced because humans like the heat. We're good.
And that era that you talk about when it had such severe warming, that's when they were growing barley in Greenland. They had citrus trees in Britain. Great stuff. By the way, this is fascinating from Flensburg is my guest on next Thursday's deep dive. As a matter of fact, there, Benjamin.
Nice meeting you, Benjamin Flensburg.
So he's got this. Look at this. There's a tribe in northern Pakistan that are descendants of Alexander the Great soldiers. They still worship some form of the Greek gods. Can't remember their name just now. Holy crap!
So they're awesome because they worship one of the greatest people ever, Alexander the Great. Hi, what's up? But that's pretty cool. Honestly, though, like how we think of Greek civilization as being one of the more forward ancient civilizations, right? So I'd imagine if they're in that kind of realm of thinking, yes, they're probably still fairly backwards because they, in our thinking, right? But I don't think they can be too bad off. I'd go hang out with them and talk about some Greek gods. Let's do it. And Raccoon, so Snake Island, my buddy, the guy I talked about, Miles,
tell us about that.
Went to Snake Island, and he went in a
where is that?
I don't even know where it is, Snake Island. But he went in a British coat of arms, and he almost died because he like fell down and couldn't get up.
No,
but he got out. He got out safely. But he went in like a very like
Brazil.
It's in in Brazil and Australia, 2 places trying to kill you. But But yeah, no, he went there in like a coat of arms and almost didn't make it out, in like a full like armored like a arm like knight's armor.
It is. Let me show you this. I don't know if I can get this. So when you click on the, you know what? Well, whatever. I was going to open up another browser. It'd take too long. It's not worth it. But I want you to see this. Here is the island on the map. Okay, you see that? And then you got to zoom out, and you got to zoom out, and you're like, where the hell are we going? Now, there we go. It is way off the coast of Brazil. Jesus. I mean, but look at that. I mean, the Brazil's there. Oh, by the way, fun fact here. Maybe if one person doesn't know this, then congratulations. Here you go. I just think it's really cool.
The collection.
The reason that that they speak Portuguese in Brazil and Spanish everywhere else is when they were exploring, and Portugal and Spain were headed over to South America. The Pope drew the line. He was like, all right, boom, here, because that's who they answered to, Portugal and Spain. And they were like, all right, everything on the east side of the line, Portugal, you get everything on the west side of that longitude line, Spain gets. And since, Brazil's this huge country, and so that's why there's Portuguese there, and then everything else is Spanish. I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, what's the excuse for Argentina trying to be Italy so bad then?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Wait. Help me out here. Help me understand this. Hey, Keith, it'd be really helpful if you post a topic in your description. Be more specific, please. And I'll read it. I want to get better. I want you to.
I think maybe if you have a run of your topics.
Oh, while we're talking, put a banner up there. I have no idea. I have ADD, so I don't know.
You might be able to. I don't know what your outlook looks like. I also use Restream. I don't use StreamYard to do all of my stuff, so it's a little bit different. But you can probably do the running the bottom ticker if you just write the topic.
There you go. Hang on. Here we go. All right. So we're gonna work our way backwards here. Okay. There you go. All right.
There it is.
Old tribe that worships Greek gods. We don't know that it's
that just worships Alex from the Alex Cuesta show. That's who they worship. They worship.
So we're working our way backwards here. So there we go. So we're just making up for lost time there. So there we go. All right. So, and it's like a game of memory here. What was before that? Do you remember? How did we get here? Oh, yeah. Before that, it was island or mountains. Remember that talk? We had a little chat about that. And then how did we get there before that? What was before that? Then it was the tribe found in Peru. Remember that? And I think that's where this tangent started. So we got there. No, seriously. Let me see. Now I give you time to put it on here. Where'd it go? Just checking here. All right. So what else I got for you here, Alex? What time are we at here? I want to respect your time here.
Oh, I'm here whenever however long you need me.
I gotta mow my yard.
My wife
let's see here. Oh, did you see? So on a previous conversation, you know what? No, I don't want to talk about that. Screw that. I don't want to do that one today. I want to ask you about doom scrolling.
It's terrible.
So I don't know that I think it just is doom scrolling. You know what I'm saying? I think it just is. Scrolling is doom scrolling. But
in a lot of ways now, yeah.
People will tag me, and I won't out anybody, but they'll tag me on some of the most horrifying videos that just make my stomach turn, and I can't scroll away fast enough, but that image is just ingrained in my brain. And I don't know. It does talk about how the average American spends, how many hours a day? I'll wait for everybody to guess. How much time a day does the average American spend on their phone?
If you're counting kids, it has to be upwards of 6 or 7 hours.
Okay.
With because especially kids are on their phone permanently. Adults are on their phone permanently too. Don't get me wrong, but kids use TikTok much more and a lot of those things. And I mean, I guess we're on X and Instagram too as adults. So.
Okay. Anybody got any guesses there in the chat? How much time a day does the average American spend on their phone? And while we're waiting for those responses, Alex, could you do my job for me and tell me what year? What are the birth years for Gen Z? Please, unless you know that off the top of your head. Gen Z.
I have an idea, but I'm not guessing. So 65 to 80.
1965 to 1980. No, that's Gen X. That's me.
Gen X. I wrote X. Yeah, I'm really good at this. This is why I'm not hired to produce anywhere. 97 to 2012.
Okay, 1997 to 2012. We're going to come back to that window. So that's going to be your 27-year-olds to 11-year-olds. Look at that. Keith Math came through. Don't tell me if I got it wrong. All right, so 6+ hours is your guess. Let's see. Anybody else got any more guesses of how much time people spend? The average American on their phone spends 4.5 hours every day.
I think that's really
low. Seems incredibly low. Are we not counting Are we not counting GPS? Are we saying that's not us using our phone? So anyway, Gen Z that you just said, born between 1997 and 2013, I think you said, that would be 6.5 hours a day.
Here's the thing. I think boomers use it just as much because they get those little games.
I was
How
about to
many
say,
times do you see boomers Candy Crush and
I'm
all
on.
that type of stuff? Exactly. Yeah. And that's
I'm
the
on.
thing. And they spend upteen amount of hours. And I know, like, my wife, she reads a lot. She's on her phone reading all the time. That counts.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I mean, I think those numbers are actually low. And I think if that's based off of like polling, usually it all is like based off of they
Okay.
call people and they ask. I think people lie.
So how about this here? How about this here? Danny K says she's always listening to something on her phone while she's at work, while she works or cleans.
I don't
You know,
count that as being on your
Yeah,
phone.
does that count as being on your phone? That's like listening
No.
to the radio. You wouldn't count that.
No, that's like having your phone in the back, your TV in the background while you're like cleaning and stuff. Like, because they're playing, like they used to have the music choice that was popular back in the day, like where you could just throw on anything music. Like, no, because I listen to things on my phone all the time. I don't consider it being on my phone. I'm not actively looking at it.
So what do you typically listen to?
I listen to podcasts and audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I'm boring. If there's someone new that comes out with music that I like, I might go check out like their album. But outside of that, it's podcasts. It's Pat Gray. Not to like, I'm not trying to like blow it you guys up, but I do listen to Pat. I'll listen to Glenn. I'll listen to Tim Cast. I get my gaming stuff from Side Scroller Stuttering Craig, who is 5 times August's brother. Craig Systemist. That's his brother. I get my gaming news from them. So that's kind of where those are like my main 4. And if Joe Rogan has anybody interesting, if Tucker has someone interesting, I'll fit them in.
I'm a big fan of the Alex Cuesta show.
Hey,
what you do is you follow him on Twitter and you go to his little profile there and you click and you listen there.
And here's what we'll do too, because I can, can I share my screen from this? I think I can.
What? We're wrapping up and you're just now going to share something from your screen?
Of course.
Oh, we could have
had
that. We could have had some breakdancing earlier. You could have done my job for me.
What do you think this is? I'm pretty sure I could share. Let's see. Present, share screen.
If it shows up in the bottom here, I can put it on the screen, but I haven't seen it.
You have to allow me to share it.
Yep. Okay. Let me know when you want me to fire it up.
Yeah, go ahead. So if you want, this is where you can find us.
Oh, look at that.
On YouTube as well. Just go to YouTube / at Alex Cuesta show right there. And I just had on Melee Games, Benology, Wilfred Riley. Click live. We've been live for a little bit now, but
that's cool, man.
Me and David covered the whole debate.
Oh, nice.
Allison Esposito we had on, who's running for Congress against Pat Ryan in New York here in my area. So yeah.
Look at that, man. You stay busy. I got this one last story here.
Go for it. You can kick me out.
Absolutely grotesque, and I just wanted to share this. This is an article about teeth brushing. Now, keep in mind, consider the source. It is from Great Britain. It's about brushing teeth. I don't know why they're writing about. I don't know why they're writing about something they're not familiar with. So here we go. This is from the UK Express. Let's see. We all know that brushing twice a day for 2 minutes. Now, time out right there. Because when I was a kid, my dad, who grew up in the 50s and 60s, told me that his dentist, when he was a kid, told him to brush for 7 minutes. Bro, there's nothing I do for 7 minutes. Stop it. You talk about having no enamel left, too. But anyway, so this article starts off with 2 minutes. So that's the first thing I want to ask everybody. How long do you... I don't brush for 2 minutes. Come on.
The only reason we do 2 minutes because we're teaching our kids, and we do it at night. We brush with my 2 daughters just to like get them better at it. So we said we use Alexa. Technology is insane, right? We use Alexa. We set timer for 2 minutes, and we watch them brush. We brush with them. We encourage it. My dental hygiene is much better than it ever was when I was younger. Because like I brush morning and night. When I was younger, I brushed at night. When I was younger, my mom made me. Then after that, I kind of did whatever the hell I wanted, and every once in a while, because I was a dumbass teen. I floss better than I ever did. I'm more faithful to that because I have kids and I want to teach them the right way to do it. So yeah, we do 2 minutes.
Hey, if you have kids, don't do what I did. I chewed gum incessantly when I was a kid and a teenager and college and
sugar,
young adult, and boy, you talk about cavity central. So just try to teach your kids to not chew the gum, because I belong in Britain. at this point with all the dental work. So this dentist here, but you're not gonna like that you only brushed the one time. One time, Alex? Gross.
When I was younger, I would do it in the morning.
No,
Listen,
I'm not
as
giving you a
teen-
pass.
No, I don't get a pass. As a teen, I was a lazy jamoke. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I would do it twice every month, but like, I did it twice most of the time.
Special occasions, I would brush a second time in a day.
I mean, it depends. If I was going to see Sarah, or I don't know. That's just a made up name. I never had she would never dated her name Sarah. But
so check this out, okay? So this guy says that he's going to explain why it isn't always a good idea to wait until after you've had your breakfast in the morning to pop to the bathroom for a quick scrub. So he's saying if people wait until after breakfast, then you're gross. And I mean, full disclosure, I brush in the morning when I get up, and then I eat breakfast at work and I brush my teeth there. And then I'll probably I'll brush once during the day just to brush my teeth. I don't know. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, I have a mental condition.
and
then at night.
there?
Yeah. So 3 to 4 times a day, I'd say. So,
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of no enamel.
Yeah, right. Well, that might explain why. Holy crap. My dentist is building a ginormous house on some property. It's all because of me. Let's see here. So listen to these details from this article. It's so gross. This is gross, y'all. When you go to sleep, the amount of saliva that your body produces drops, and saliva is what protects your teeth against bacteria. Okay, we got that. We're on the same page.
Makes sense.
That means that the bacteria in your mouth have an absolute field day, and they multiply overnight.
So they're basically rabbits. They're doing it.
Yeah, they're in there humping in your mouth.
Discovery Channel.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Overnight, if you eat in the morning before you brush, why am I reading this? If you eat in the morning before you brush your teeth, you're also feeding that bacteria. The sentence doesn't end there. Okay, cool. This is a sentence from the article is titled "Dentist Explains the Morning Mistake That's Ruining Your Teeth." So here's the full sentence here from Mr. ADD. If you eat in the morning before you brush your teeth, you're also feeding that bacteria, and they poo out acid, which is what causes tooth decay. I have never in my life until this freaking article heard that bacteria pooping in my mouth is what has caused all these cavities. That's gross.
Makes sense, though.
I don't like it.
Poo is acidic, right? And most poo, it's like you're excreting the nastiness. So that makes sense.
Don't like this.
Oh, it's gross. And you know what, though? Bacteria lives matter, okay? So you better not brush anymore and let that bacteria live in your mouth, dude.
Now, hold on a second. Hold on. So he's saying that you've got the bacteria in your mouth, you're eating, and then the bacteria poops in your mouth, and then you brush your teeth. How long does it take that food to pass through the intestines of the bacteria? What is happening?
I mean,
how quick of a turnaround is this?
They're single cell, so it's probably pretty quick. I mean, there is the thing that I don't know if it's true. Every time a fly lands, they're throwing up and shitting. So,
oh my gosh!
Every time a fly lands, and when they're doing a little arm rub thingy, it's them just like excreting stuff, both sides, apparently. So every time a fly's landed on you, you're getting
only the best topics here on At the Mic. Let's see here. So then another quote from this dentist is, if you brush straight after rubbing those acids into the teeth, causing tooth wear, which leads to sensitivity and thinner yellow teeth. I don't know, whatever. So he's saying that wake up, brush your teeth, then eat, and then I guess brush again. Basically what I do.
So here's the thing. So is it a better method to like mess with that bacteria? Like, yes, brush when you get up, right? But should we just go right to mouthwash and just like swirl and give those guys a little tsunami to get them out of there first and then brush them?
Man, listen, you should be a dentist.
I'll just pretend it's Japan in my mouth every time, tsunami it out, and then be done.
Oh gosh. Bro. Too soon. It was only 15 years ago. Too soon.
Then they're due, right? I guess.
Yeah. Oh no. I swear, bro, you better hope this weekend isn't a bad one for Japan, or we're
Hey,
gonna point
listen,
back.
I love
What did
Japan.
Alex know, and when did he know it?
Listen, I'm a weeb. I love Japanese culture. I'm anime and manga guy. I want Japan to live on forever because they keep on
Yes.
feeding the things that I enjoy.
Hang on a second. Hang on. This is important. I need to know this before we go. So Danny K brushes with active charcoal and then use mouthwash. Okay, so I mean, this is gonna sound. I'm not trying to be a smartass here, but you see the toothpaste with charcoal.
Yeah.
This is just how uneducated I am. Obviously, you don't want to go outside and take a briquette out of your barbecue grill, the bag, and just start rubbing it on there, whatever. But I mean, again, I'm not trying to sound stupid. I am that stupid. Like if you were to take a piece of charcoal, right? In fact, there's one out here in the hallway that I need to go and take off this shelf for this demonstration. If I were to like rub it or whatever and I do this and that I don't know. I don't. I'm asking, and this is only water. Okay, I promise.
There are certain things I believe and certain things I don't believe. I do not believe for a minute that charcoal helps.
How did charcoal ever become a thing for teeth?
Who decided that? Who decided to go, hey, let me look at this rock? Oh, that's great. Who was getting paid in the government to do this study and why?
Yeah. Hang on. You take the show. I'll be back.
So Keith is going to go get some charcoal that he can rub his teeth on. So chat, how many of you in the chat use charcoal to brush their teeth like Danny? Because I always found something like that, bizarre. Danny, can you explain in the chat what are the beneficial things to using charcoal? Because we got Britain who won't even use fluoride, right? Britain won't use fluoride in their toothpaste, and their teeth are left and right.
Is that right?
But yeah, I think they do now. But it's I think they've discovered that. But it's so what is the active good part of charcoal that helps? Charcoal powder. So yeah, if you ground that up,
so what do I do? What do I do now?
It's just ashes from burned wood. So if we burn wood and we put it I don't understand.
So this is a piece of charcoal. I won't say from whence it came because it was probably taken illegally by somebody. I don't know how it got here. So
yourself on the internet, that's always good.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you where I travel. So these are little pieces that just fell off of it. Okay. So how would I turn this into?
Danny said she gets charcoal powder, so I guess you grind it up.
Wow. So I may be able to start like a toothpaste company with this rock right here.
Malinax Miracles toothpaste. There you go.
Hey, hold on a second. Look,
Malinax Miracle toothpaste.
I want you to look at my teeth real quick, okay? See that?
Not the direction I thought we were going today.
See that? Okay, now watch this. Hang on. Are they wider yet?
I think so. I think you just scraped off a whole set of enamel, so it made it whiter underneath.
We're here to teach.
It was good for people with overdose, so they don't need Narcan. They just need to throw charcoal into their system.
I guess. Find your own piece of charcoal, and your teeth will never be white.
Did charcoal cure COVID? Because if it did, then it would have been taken off the market.
Oh, that's right.
It was hydroxy and ivermectin. It seems like charcoal could be frequently used to benefit people. So
for the charcoal Association of America, don't forget, go and get some charcoal, and your teeth can sparkle. Alex Cuesta from the Alex Cuesta Show. Follow him on Twitter. Watch his live stream every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. There's a whole archive there at youtube.com/the Alex Cuesta Show.
Yes. The Alex Cuesta Show was too long for Twitter, so that's why it's just Alex Cuesta Show.
Have you ever, hold on, time out, ADD moment. Have you ever tried to follow, hold on a second. Everybody do this real quick if you're on Twitter, okay? This is fun. No, you'll like it. You'll like it. Man.
I'm scared and optimistic.
Don't build it up too much, Keith. If you
that's
yeah, here we go. This actually pisses me off, honestly. Go to at Smashing Pumpkin. See, come on. That bugs me. I want the S on there. Can you call Elon and just say, can we have one extra letter? Because it's just at Smashing Pumpkin. It should be pumpkins.
Yeah,
Something like, you see
honestly,
what I mean?
Elon, and
Doesn't
you
that
should
bug me? I mean, does that bug you?
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They don't have a check mark, so I feel like that should be. You should
Oh.
be able to, if you get like the higher paid, like more like premium or premium plus, you should be
Oh.
able to have a longer, maybe not infinite, but a longer tag.
Infinite Sadness or something, whatever the album. See how I brought it home for you there.
I like
See
it.
that? The Smashing Focus, damn you. All right, I should probably go. I gotta go
Smashing Pumpkin.
Pumpkin
But-
singular.
Can I do my one more extra plug for my other show before we get out of here?
Yes, I forgot to bring that up. I was going to actually bring that up during the Olympics talk.
That's
yes, tell them about that other
Okay.
podcast, bro.
So I'm going to share my screen one more time if you can, just so people can see my other YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I got you. You want me to put that up?
Yeah, if you can.
Yep.
So right there, that is my other podcast. It's Talking in Ovals. Me and a former coach of mine. I was a collegiate runner, not a good one, but I was a collegiate runner. I sucked over at Marist. But he also ran in college and he coaches. I coached before. We're both passionate about track and field. And what we do is we interview individuals in track and field. We just went live not too long ago as well. But we interview, Alex North right there. She's she's going to Penn State. She was the New York champion in high school for the 400. Marissa Kelsey was at the Olympic trials as a pole vaulter. And we've had people that were at the Olympic trials, 12 different athletes, different coaches. And our goal is to talk to people, get their stories about how they started in track and field, not the X's and O's. We don't care about that much, but to find out how they started it, what their passions are, great memories. So, and the goal is to bring track to the casual fans and to make it bigger, because one thing that people don't know about pro athletes in track and field is they don't get paid. Most of them are poor. We had one guy that we interviewed that was eating ice chips because he didn't have food, but he was a pro javelin thrower. So we'll stop sharing that. But yeah, that's my other podcast, Talking in Ovals. And we'd appreciate if you're a track fan, a running fan, or just want to jump in the world of good stories from great athletes, go give it a follow there. Subscribe. Thank you.
Hey, do you guys ever talk about like the best shoes to wear?
Yeah,
for
we
your
talk about
feet and
super
stuff.
Yeah, we actually had Craig Siegel on. He just started a new just opened up a new store called The Outpost in New Jersey in Little Silver there. But he did work for a shoe store and called the Runner's Edge. And yeah, they specialize in that stuff. We talked about the super shoes and things like that. And like that's a big topic in track, but we talk about all that. And we had another local store owner here from Fleet Feet. So
okay, cool.
And if anyone has any questions about things like that, we're friendly, live chat us. And runners, one thing we do know about is shoes, because that's our biggest thing. So
yeah. And by the way, Danny was asking if she was the only one. Born Genius said no. What they do is they take screenshots, which is a great idea. Take a screenshot right now. We'll wait. Got that? Okay. So now they can reference later in case they forget how to spell Alex Cuesta.
Yeah,
Alex Cuesta Show. Thanks so much for making time, Alex.
Thanks,
Thanks to
Keith.
all of you in the chat there. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to go and find you a big old piece of charcoal and make your teeth as white. You can make them as white as mine. You just got to go and find your own piece of charcoal. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. I will see you Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the live stream with Benjamin Flinsborg, and we'll talk about all sorts of old world folklore. That'll be fun. And then the Friday live stream will feature Chef Andrew Gruel and my buddy JP Decker. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we will see you again very, very soon.
Bye, guys.